So I went off a little bit on NXT last week, a whole bunch of shit that really didn't make any sense. This week, a whole bunch more shit that kind of made sense, but I'm kind of okay with it. I don't really know where I don't know where the relationship between me and NXT stands right now. Put it on Facebook as it's complicated. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your May 23rd NXT review. And let's do what we always do. Let's get the house cleaning out of the way first. Big programming note. I could get into a whole bunch of discussions and explanations as to why this is happening. Basically, there's not going to be 205 live reviews on this channel. I won't say ever again. I will say for the next little while. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The reason I started doing 205 Live is, you know, they did the new direction. They were doing the big tournament again, which was cool, which was nice, which was fun to follow. And I hung around because basically there was the rumors. There was the rumors of the Cruiserweight Tag Team titles. I was going to see where they went and, you know, obviously better wrestling, etc. The tag team titles haven't come. The tournament is over. And while it is great wrestling, there's not really much else to talk about. I mean, Cedric's the champion. It's all good. There's not a whole lot of... I mean, do I want to come up here every Tuesday and say, hey, I got an hour of cool wrestling. Next. Join me tomorrow for NXT. The other thing about it, and I'll be completely honest with you guys, is work is kicking my ass. Those of you out there that do know, forklift driver as well as other things in a warehouse that is quite busy. I haven't done a regular 40-hour week in about a little over a year and a half. So that's kind of a bitch. And 205 Live isn't over until 11 o'clock at night. I do the 11 o'clock at night. I do the video. I do the upload. All that sort of thing. And yes, I know I joke with you guys all the time about doing stuff at stupid o'clock, ridiculous o'clock, etc. But something had to go. Something had to go, and it was 205 Live. I love coming up here talking to you guys about NXT. I love all the collabs that I'm doing. The pay-per-view previews, the pay-per-view pick 'em that we do with Kristen and Guapo isn't going anywhere. Aftermath isn't going anywhere. And Off the Cuff is going to get a little bit of a resurgence. Talking to Kristen this week. Kristen and I have a off-the-cuff video. It's a topic surrounding the women's division. No spoiler there when it's me and Kristen. A lot of times it does revolve around the women's division and some of the things to do with that. So that video will hopefully be out to you guys next week. We did go through a period of time where there was like pay-per-view. We had WrestleMania, we had the Shake-Up, we had you know, the greatest Royal Rumble with the tightest world slide, Backlash and all that sort of thing. But we've got quite a bit of time and space between that and Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank's actually shaping up pretty damn well. But I'm going to take that time in between to beef up the Off the Cuff series. And as I said to you guys, when I started Off the Cuff, it was going to be a topical, like me ranting about random topics. It's sort of transitioned a little bit into conversational videos. I mean, we fantasy booked our own versions of WrestleMania, etc. It's going to be a lot more conversation, collab type stuff than me actually coming up and preparing my thoughts on a video. Because my thoughts on some of the more controversial topics, you know, don't always get the best response. So look out for the video that Kristen and I are going to do hopefully next week. If not next week, sometime between now and Money in the Bank. Obviously join us for the pay-per-view preview, the pay-per-view pick 'em for Money in the Bank and Takeover Chicago. For those of you that were looking forward and were enjoying the 205 Live reviews, sorry, make your voice heard. I will say, if something changes, if 205 Live gets an earlier time slot, if we do get that Cruiserweight Tag Team title, which will be a brand new topic of conversation, it may come back. It's on the back burner. It's not. It hasn't been thrown out with the trash. It is on the back burner. But yeah, I've rambled on way too long when I could have just come up here and said, hey guys, there's no more 205 Live reviews. I will say, if you are here for the first time, you've never seen my 205 Live reviews, you don't care what I'm saying right now, go up in the annotation up above, check out my previous NXT reviews, check out my previous collaborative pay-per-view prediction videos, the Aftermath series, the Off the Cuff series, which is going to be kicking off again real soon. Appreciate that. You know, subscribe up there, talk down there, all the bullshit that I say at the end of the videos. For those of you in Toronto that are going to be at the August 27th, 28th Raw and SmackDown at Air Canada Centre, I'm going to be there. If you want to come up and say hi, come up and say hi. People at the Destiny shows that bought me a couple of drinks, shout out to you guys. Unfortunately, I'm shitty with names, don't remember any names, which makes me a terrible, terrible person. But yeah, if you're going to be at Raw and SmackDown in Toronto in a couple of months, come up and give me a little bit of a hello. Booked myself that week off, so a good amount of time. I should be well rested and ready to party with all you guys. I've rambled long enough. Let's talk about NXT. Let's talk about some more weird NXT. Heavy Machinery versus TM Nobody Gives a Fuck. It is a cool little match, and I thought TM61 was going to get squashed, which would have been great. You know it's going to be a weird night when Coach is sitting front row. Coach is sitting front row for this match, shouting at the top of his lungs that Heavy Machinery are his guys. Now, are they going to take him off commentary and make him the manager for Heavy Machinery? I severely doubt that, so what the fuck was the point of this? I really don't know. Otis and Thorne start. Otis throws him by one arm across the ring, and a tackle by Otis. Double shoulder tackle by Heavy Machinery. Stalling atomic drop by Tucker was really cool. Hip toss in a corner, splash, and a full body avalanche by Otis. Heavy Machinery do a cool little thing here. They basically prop up Miller in the corner, and if you can imagine how Goldust used to prop somebody up for the Shattered Dreams, you know, the big kick in the nuts, you know, that's Nakamura's gimmick now. But they hang up Miller in basically the same spot, and they take Shane. I can read my own writing, I promise. They take Shane, and they basically spear him, javelin style, into his partner. Miller eats turnbuckles, a bunch of them, and a running elbow drop by Thorne. Running elbow drop by Thorne starts the only little streak of offense that TM61 has in this match. There's right hands by Miller, there's a double shoulder tackle, there's a cheap shot by Thorne to the back of the head. Tucker, double vertical suplexes both members of TM61 to stop that little run. Otis brawls both men over and over and over. Sorry, bowls over. I can read my writing. It's late in the day, guys. Corner splash and a slam by Otis, followed by the Caterpillar elbow drop, which is, you know, entertaining if nothing else. Series of one-punch knockdowns by Tucker and exploder by Otis, but the most bullshit victory I can imagine for TM61 happens when there's a roll-up by Thorne, bullshit roll-up out of nowhere, with his feet on the ropes, and his partner helping him hold Otis down. This was fucking bullshit. The only saving grace of this is the announcers, running into the ground what bullshit this victory really was. And I like that a lot. Now, if we're going to get a revenge story, Heavy Machinery come back and take out TM61, because there's no reason that those guys need to win, I'm all for it. If this is TM61 actually picking up some momentum, I really don't understand it, because I don't give a shit about TM61, but hey, that's just me. There's a video package about Bianca Belair to let us know that next week there's going to be a video package on Bianca Belair. There's nothing really to say there. There's a video package on EC3 talking about, you know, if I've had this much impact on NXT, imagine how sorry. Why do I bother? If I've had this much impact on NXT in 3 matches, think what I'll do in 4. And they've actually taken and warped the NXT logo into an NX3 logo, which I really like. That's a really nice, neat little touch. Kairi Sane versus Lacey Evans. Another match that's weird, and Lacey Evans... I don't know what to say about Lacey Evans. Dropkick by Sane to start the match in a series of forearms. Ties Evans up in the ropes for a further beatdown, and knife edge chops holding Evans by the jaw. See, for Kairi Sane, and it's not just because she's against Lacey Evans, because Kairi Sane is just a small person in general, but for her to manhandle somebody like that, or woman handle, I guess I should say, you know, hold her by the jaw so that she doesn't even move, she doesn't even have the opportunity to get knocked down by the knife edge chops is really, really good. Sane works the arm, Evans chops out the knee. Chop block, but it's a chop block forward, so I don't know what the fuck that's called. Bronco Buster by Evans. Sane chops the legs. You know, anything you can do, I can do better, and whips Evans down into a blockbuster. Axe by Sane, axe kick by Sane, interceptor, and a low elbow shot in the corner. Kabuki elbow off the steps by Sane, and she goes for the insane elbow. This is gonna hurt me every time I say it, but Evans with the women's right. Fuck this agenda. This is not even a win in my book. This is WWE clearly wants to push an agenda, and unfortunately Kairi Sane is the sacrificial lamb in that scenario. It's announced that during the UK tournament that one of the exhibition matches is going to be British Strong Style, aka Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and Tyler Bate versus the Undisputed Era of Cole, Not Fish, O'Reilly, and Strong, which is all good. These are all guys that I saw at Destiny Icons, and they all did really fucking good. They're taking on, what the fuck's his name? Marty Scurll, and 2 other opponents to be announced at the next Destiny show, and it's going to be Fuck the Bucks, and I'm going to make fun of all of them. Oh, yes. On the heels of that, we find out that Lorcan and Birch are apparently getting a title shot at TakeOver Chicago. I guess Lorcan and Birch getting a title shot I have no problem with, but they cut their promo saying they wanted a title shot. Undisputed Era cut a promo saying that they don't deserve a title shot, but that they can't wait to kick their asses in Chicago. They never, and I know I'm being super nitpicky here, and it's NXT, and I should just enjoy the ride. I get it. I'm being an asshole right now. They never actually make the announcement. One wants it, the other one says, no, we don't want to give it to you, and that's all it is. They're fighting for the tag titles. I mean, Lorcan and Birch are in a shit spot right there because, hey, here's your big shot, and you're going up against, you know, the biggest faction in NXT right now, the most popular faction, arguably, in WWE right now. Sanity isn't on NXT anymore, and they haven't made their debut on the main roster, so they're sort of floating out there somewhere. Maybe they were a couple of the people that disappeared when Thanos snapped his fingers. Spoiler alert. So they're kind of out. The Shield doesn't exist. New Day is the New Day. So anybody going after any of the titles held by the Undisputed Era right now, I tip my hat and wish you good luck, and also kind of laugh in your face. Ricochet and Velveteen Dream in a handicap match versus Lars Sullivan. Oh, Jesus. So we had the Dream match last week, no pun intended, and it was interrupted by Lars Sullivan for reasons. I would hate this match, except for the ending. We're going to get to that in a second. Lars Sullivan and Dream start the match. Front face lock and a toss by Lars. Collar and elbow tie-up with Ricochet and a face plant by Lars. Ricochet and Dream ping-pong him back and forth with right hands. Double dropkick, missile dropkick by Ricochet. Axe handle by Dream. Double team corner forearms. Boot by Ricochet. Series of double team kicks and knees. Like, the series of kicks and knees went on for what felt like about 20 or 30 seconds. Corner spears by Lars. Hard Irish whip and a club to the back. Power slam by Lars. Top rope headbutt by Lars. Now, I give a lot of shit to Lars Sullivan because I say he's basically NXT's Big Show, but seeing that dude go up for a Benoit-style headbutt was something to see. Purple Rainmaker by Dream to the back of the head, forearms by Ricochet, modified 619 thing by Ricochet, followed by a crossbody by Dream. Running Star Press by Ricochet is always fucking pretty, followed by a pendulum kick by Dream and a boot by Ricochet. Slingshot Senton by Dream, Slingshot 450 by Ricochet, and as Ricochet is getting up, he runs into a rolling Death Valley driver by his opponent. Go fuck yourself. Dream fucks off to continue the feud. Freak accident by Lars. Lars Sullivan gets the win. Now, there's a positive and a negative here, because the positive is that the Dream Ricochet feud is going to continue, and we're going to get some fucking fantastic matches, and we're probably going to see them fight in Chicago. That's fucking great. The downside of this is Lars Sullivan might be in line for an NXT title shot, and nobody wants to see that, do they? You know what I do want to see? Even though it's not going to be a match, even though there's going to be some kind of schmoz finish, Baszler is defending her women's title next week against Dakota Kai. And she runs down Dakota Kai in the back for a while. You know, you've always got a lot to say, but you never say anything to my face. I'm going to beat you. You know you don't have a chance next week. Dakota Kai takes one small step forward, looks her in the face, says, we'll see about that, and we'll do it next week. Now, ending segment. Now, I know NXT is famous for not having a really big talking segment at the beginning, not really a big talking segment at the end, but they also prove that when they do it, they can do it properly. And if you want to make people give shit about a talking segment, you put out Candice LeRae, you put out Johnny Gargano, you put a neck brace on Johnny Gargano and have him just go out there and look all sad. He comes out, and I mean, you have to let wrestling logic go for a second. I mean, you know Gargano's not going anywhere. You really do. But he comes out there and does his best to convince the crowd that, you know, maybe his run-ins with Ciampa have been just too much. He says he loves the fans, he loves his wife. Last time I was here in this in Full Sail. I was here for a title match. That match never even started, and that night I left on a stretcher. My body reminds me every day what Tommaso Ciampa did to me. I've been wrestling my whole life, but it's time to think about my future. And as soon as he says it's time to think about our future, looking at his wife, somebody in the front row that's probably got a couple beers in him and says, "Oh, baby wrestling?" I chuckled at that, probably more than I should. He says he's starting to think about, is it all worth it? Is it worth the injuries? Is it worth my friends getting hurt? Is it worth my family, my wife, and then he has that pause moment where he's all down and sullen and severe, rips the neck brace off. He says, "Yeah, fuck yeah, it's all worth it." Calls out Ciampa. Ciampa comes to the rampway. Candice runs through the crowd. But then, because Full Sail is a small place, you see her sort of looping back to the back, which is kind of funny. Calls out Ciampa. Ciampa answers. Candice brings out all kinds of officials to stop anything from happening. And then she pulls Gargano from the ring, up the ramp. "Come on, honey, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this." But then Ciampa eggs him on, picks him up. He's doing the little, retarded royal wave thing that he does that's so fucking great, because he's always got the serial killer fucking look on his face while he's doing the wave, and it's all fucking good. He says, "Be a good little boy, run along with your wife." He goes up. He runs up towards the apron. Candice is right behind him. Ciampa basically shoulder tackles him off the apron onto his wife on the steel grate. And we end the show with Candice LeRae unconscious on the rampway. We've added another layer to this feud. This better be happening at TakeOver. I really don't know what else to say. There was a lot of in this show. I mean, Lacey Evans is an agenda machine for WWE right now, so I guess we gotta take that as it is. Heavy Machinery, I hope, can come back and destroy TM61. I don't know. The whole Ricochet Dream thing is cool. Like I say, I don't want Sullivan in the main event scene, but on the upside, it looks like we're getting Lorcan and Birch with a tag team title shot at Chicago. It looks like we're getting Gargano Ciampa again at Chicago. It looks like we're getting Dream Ricochet again at Chicago. It's all good. We're just we're getting all this really, really good shit. We're just taking very strange roads to get there. And so if I come here and I come up to you guys like I always do and I talk about all this good shit, this exciting shit that we should be excited about, but I hesitate a little bit, like, what the fuck did we do here? I hope you guys understand what I mean. A lot better than last week. A lot better than last week. Lacey Evans with the women's rights. Stop. Just fucking stop. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.
You're a freak like me.